video is part 1 in a 2-part series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to quick soak beans in the Instant Pot. It's a great way to start with the really economical dried beans and turn it into food that you can enjoy. If you enjoy this video, please hit subscribe. You may also want to turn on notifications. And if you know someone who might enjoy this video as well, please be sure to share it with them. And I do like to have a conversation in the comments, so if you have a comment for me and would like to have a conversation with me, please leave a comment below. You can find the recipe and the details in the pinned comment as well as in the show notes. The first step in making chili with just ingredients, so not ingredients that are processed at all, but actual pure raw ingredients, is to prepare the beans. And I am going to show you how to do the quick soak method with the Instant Pot. When you have just dried beans, which is the cheapest way to get beans for sure, you either need to soak them overnight, or you can do a no soak method, which takes like 22 minutes on pressure cooking in the Instant Pot, or you can do the quick soak method, which takes 2 minutes. But I'm going to show you the quick soak method because I think that's the one that makes the most sense. What you're going to do is you're going to measure out 1 cup of beans. I prefer the Adzuki beans. You can use just about any bean that you like. Pinto beans are fine. I like the Adzuki beans because they're small and they soak up really quickly. So you can actually soak them a lot shorter. The directions for the quick soak method is high pressure for 2 to 8 minutes. With the Adzuki beans, I can do the 2-minute version. So 1 cup of beans. And one thing to know is that when you're using something like dried beans, you want to make sure that there are no rocks or anything. This is a really natural product. So what I do is I just empty them into my hand and pour them into the pot. Obviously a clean hand, right? You're also looking for any that are deformed or disfigured. It's also absolutely best to rinse the beans before you put them in the pot. I haven't found it makes that big of a difference. They're not that dirty, and I am an eat dirt proponent, so I buy organic beans, and I just put them in the pot. It saves water. The next thing that I'm going to do is measure out 4 cups of water. I don't actually have a measuring cup in the van, and so I just use mason jars. They have markings on them. I never make anything that needs to be so carefully measured that it's going to make a difference. I'm not baking a cake here, I'm just cooking some beans. At this point, you can put in some chopped garlic if you want. I'm gonna put in some seaweed. I never remember what it's called. Let me go look. So I'm gonna put in a little bit of dulse, and what I do is I just take it out and tear it up with my fingers. And that's all I'm gonna add to it. I'm not gonna add salt or anything. I used to read cookbooks and food science books. And one of the things that I read years ago was to salt your beans after, because the salt prevents the beans from opening up. It's just the water and a little bit of dulse with the beans, and then I'm going to put the lid on the pot and set it for 2 minutes. All right, plugging in the pot. As I am making the chili, I am also packing up to move. This is really a great recipe to make when it's a moving day. What I do is I make the beans before I leave wherever I am. Once it's off, I put the whole pot in the sink and travel with it in the sink. That allows the beans to really soften up, and then I will finish making the chili when it's time to eat dinner. One of the things about cooking with real food ingredients is that it takes a little more pre-planning. You can't just open a can and dump it in. You have to think about, okay, I need to make sure that I prep the beans this morning so that I can make chili this evening. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of planning, a little bit of thought. As always, when you're using the Instant Pot, you want to make sure that this is facing the sealed marker, so it's facing the back. And what's going to happen is this pin right here is going to pop up when the pressure's been reached. What's going to happen later is I'm not going to open, I usually like to do the natural release always. And so I'm going to wait for that pin to drop on the Instant Pot before I open it. And that's what indicates that it's ready. Now in this case, I'm not going to open it right away when the pin drops. I'm going to let it sit until I'm ready to make dinner. The indicator just went off that the pressure cooker is done. It's now showing that the L, I don't remember what the L stands for, but it's showing that it's now 1 minute past when it beeped. All I do is hit cancel and I unplug it and I turn off the inverter. This is a little bit different because today I'm going to take the cord off of it and set it in the sink to travel. I have a couple other things that I need to do before I leave, so that's going to be one of the last things that I do. I'm getting ready to put the Instant Pot in the sink to move to my next destination, and so I thought I'd just show you what I do. I have just an extra piece of the grippy stuff. I don't know what you call it. Everybody calls it grippy stuff. I just set that in the sink and set the pot in very carefully. I don't want to disturb the pin, so you don't want to slam it around or anything. I want to keep that pressure in there as long as possible. So I am ready to go to the grocery store and head to my friend's property. Alright, so I am to my destination. It's been many hours later. I was talking to my friend Helen, who is doing a really interesting genetic nutritional supplement trial. So the Instant Pot's still in the sink. I'm going to go ahead and bring it out. Gonna have sun issues because the sun is coming directly in the door and it's a little warm out, so I don't want to close the door. So we'll see how this goes as far as filming this, because I really want to film this for you guys. So hopefully it's not too washed out as I'm making the chili. So what I'm going to do is open up, see there's that wash out. So I'm just going to open that up and you can see that it's just soupy beans in there. They shouldn't be cooked beans, they should be more like soaked beans.